This is Alabama Perspectives, a weekly 30-minute program specifically focused on nonprofit ministries, organizations, and events in North Alabama, Northeast Alabama, and South Tennessee.
And thank you for joining us this morning on Alabama Perspectives here on WAYFM. I'm Matt Mariner. Joining me in studio is Kristina Bass. She's the General Coordinator for the Community Built Playground coming to Sharon, Johnston Park. I appreciate you coming in this morning.
Thanks for having me.
Well, first off, tell me about the mission and the goal of this project.
Well, our goal is to create a community-built playground that promotes active play, that stimulates imagination, and is accessible to children with varying abilities.
Okay. Well, how did it begin, and really, how did you get involved with the project?
Well, I got involved. It started with me personally in 2007 when I would take my kids to go and play at Kids Space, which is another community-built playground in Huntsville. And I would sit and I would look at all of the wonderful things that were there, all the donors, all their names, and the children just out playing. And I live out in Northeast Madison County, which is a smaller area in Newmarket. And it just came on my heart that we needed to have one over there. And I would just look. And for a while, I never said anything. And then it got to where I would mention it to my husband. You know, there's no reason why we can't have one of these on our side of town. Madison has one. Huntsville has one. Our side of town needs one. And the perfect place would be Sharon, Johnston Park. Well, that was in 07, and it happened through 08 and 09. I never did anything because I would just look at it and think, where in the world do I start? Where do you even begin with something like this? Mm. In January of 2010, without a doubt, I knew that God was prompting me to move on this project. And I didn't even hesitate because when I know that it's him, I know that I better listen. So I picked up the phone and I called the commissioner, who's Roger Jones, and I told him what was on my heart and what I felt like I was being led to do. And he said, Kristina, you can have Sharon Johnston Park. You can put it there. We just don't have the money. You just will have to raise the funds. Wow. So that's how I got involved.
So this was really just birthed out of your own passion to see a park in your neighborhood.
It was. More birthed out of the fact that God wouldn't leave me alone. Every time I went to the playground, and then when I started speaking it out loud and telling my friends about it, and then, in 2010, when I decided to go forward, I kept saying I wasn't obeying God all those years, but I don't think that it was, it's all about timing. And I think that through those years when he was implanting it in my heart, he was also putting me in the midst and in the presence and building relationships with people that are going to be key elements to this project. Mm-hmm. Because in January 2010, when I called, he also said, well, we're going to have a new director coming on in June, which has been a godsend. And had I tried to do this in 07 or 08 or 09, there wouldn't have been a director there to help. And so it's all about timing. It's all about timing.
How were your neighbors and friends when you mentioned this project at the beginning? How did they react?
Well, many, many people have wanted this to happen and have tried to get it to happen and have worked diligently for it and have had doors closed. And it is nothing special that I'm doing. It is all just about God's timing. It really, really is. So, of course, we have pros and we have cons. We have people that you're in a recession and we need other things other than a playground, and why are you doing this? And then we have people that are just absolutely beside themselves that this is actually coming, that they do see it. I do think we have a lot of people holding our breath because in the past many people have tried it. But we're going to succeed this time because we have God on our side. Not to say that the other people didn't, but this is about his timeline.
Yeah. And it's something that's going to last a while.
Oh, it's forever. It's forever, unless a tornado comes, of course.
Well, how many people are involved with the project here?
Well, we have 14 core leaders. And when I say core leaders, these are people that are dedicating lots of their time in a specific area of this project, whether it be to gather food during the build time, whether it be to gather volunteers, PR, construction, materials. We have those 14 leaders, and without them, I could not do my job. They make my job much easier. But under them, it's taking a community. You know, they say that you raise a child with a community. Mm-hmm. We're raising this playground with a community. We need 750 plus volunteers to physically come out and build this playground.
Well, what has the process been as far as somebody coming in to design it, those sorts of things?
We, after kind of looking around and asking around and really just being still for a few minutes, which you know me, Matt, I don't do that very much, I realized that, yes, we could raise money and just go and buy equipment and put it on there, which is very expensive. But where I wanted to go with it was for the community to come together to do this for many reasons. And I feel like right now is a wonderful, wonderful time to do this, even though with a recession, because what God is doing in Northeast Madison County is giving something positive for people to focus on, giving something positive for people to work towards, and it's taking everybody. My push right now is, this is not about people writing checks with zeros. This is about everybody holding hands and doing something small. There's been a little bit of a drift between the communities in that area, and so I'm hoping that this is going to solidify and bring us together and make us stronger. So that's why we went towards community built. And it's more than just building a playground. It's changing the community. And so I'm excited about that. We've had the designer come out in October from New York. He flew in. He interviewed the children of the area as well as the parents of the area and figured out what they wanted. A funny thing is many of them wanted a barbed wire fence between the tot lot and the bigger lot to keep the smaller kids away from it, which is hilarious. So, after we told them, I'm sorry, we can't put a barbed wire fence there.
It may not look very good.
So they have come out, they've drawn it. We can physically see what our playground, what Northeast Madison County's playground is going to look like, which just excites me. So now what we are is we're in the throes of trying to raise the money and gather the volunteers.
Cool. When you talk about community built, then, so you have opportunities for people to volunteer and get involved?
Oh, my goodness, yes. If we don't have people get involved and volunteer, it won't be done. So we are desperately seeking volunteers of all proportions, anything from helping our PR person get the word out, anything from gathering food for the construction day, because it's just going to be like a good old potluck type thing. And also fundraisers. We have some fundraising going on, certain events going on that we would love to have some people with passion and enthusiasm come out and help us organize it and make it the best that it can be. Lots and lots of different volunteer opportunities, as well as construction, actually physically hammering and making the playground a reality.
Okay. So if somebody wants to volunteer and get involved to help build the playground at Sharon Johnston Park, what's the best way for somebody to contact you and to learn more?
Well, you can email us at play@atsjp @gmail.com. That's play@sjp@gmail.com. Or you can jump on our Facebook page, and you don't even have to be a member of Facebook in order to be able to look to see what's going on. That's www.facebook.com/play@Sharon Johnston Park. That's going to give you all kinds of information. We have a wonderful PR person who keeps that up. And we have volunteers and others who post on it. And so we have over 770 people on it, and that's awesome. Or you could give me a call at area code 256-603-0987. I would love to answer any questions and get you signed up to volunteer or take any donations.
Okay. You don't need to have a particular skill. Whatever skills you have, you can find a place for them to be used.
Absolutely. What we're looking for is heart and passion. We, yes, do need skilled people when it comes to the construction, but we need unskilled as well. What's going to happen is they too are going to work side by side. The last project that Leathers and Associates did told us that they had a grandmother in a wheelchair that was out there. So it is not about, I don't know how to do that. Come out and learn a new skill, if nothing else.
Are there any particular needs that you need or that the project needs right now?
Right now, our project, needs to be bathed in prayer, for one. And two, we have to raise $100,000 in 2 months, which makes me shake and tremble just a little bit. And God and I go round and round about that, but I know it's in His timing, not in mine. And the way that that's going to be done is people holding hands and doing, I'm pushing $10 a person. $10 a person, and we can get it done. This is not about zeros. The other thing that we need volunteers, and you can find out all different ways that you can volunteer on our Facebook page. And those are our two big needs, because without those, then we can't build in May.
Okay. Well, do you have any special events coming up?
We do. We are going to do a Parents' Night Out, which is going to be over in the Northeast Madison County, and that can be found on our Facebook, and that's on the 12th of March, as well as we're going to have a horse show of sorts out there at Sharon Johnston Park, which will be super cool. We are currently selling hand tiles, which will be a forever memory up there at the park, where your child can put a hand tile in his or her name on it. We're doing engraved pickets, and we're also doing engraved stones, and all of those will be incorporated into the playground.
Okay. Well, if somebody wants to learn more about one of those events,
the easiest way is to jump on our Facebook account. Again, if you're not on Facebook, you can still go on there and just type in the URL, www.facebook.com/play@Sharon-Johnston-Park, or you can email us, and that email address is play@sjp@gmail.com.
well, normally at this part of the program, we ask if an organization has any testimonies or something to share, and obviously your project is still in the works. Is there feedback or anything maybe you want to share about the project?
This whole project, from beginning to end, has just been a big testimony, and especially it's been speaking to me. When I think there's no way that I can do it, God shows up and shows me, you know what, you're right, you can't, but I can. And it's always at the last minute, which I'm not very fond of, but it's always the perfect time. I personally am making wonderful, wonderful memories and wonderful friendships through this process. It hasn't been easy, by no means, but if you asked me to do it again, I would. So I am excited to see what is happening in Northeast Madison County. I pray that others will be as excited as I am, not just to have a playground built, but to work side by side with each other for a common goal, to give us something positive to shoot for. And, you know, when so many people come up to me, and especially not in this area, and say, we have so many things that we need, why are you doing a playground? That's especially a $185,000 playground. Why? My answer to them is, well, it wasn't my choice. I was told, and I'm just trying to obey. And a lot of them will look at me weird. But my other thing is that we need something positive to focus on right now. There's so many negative things that we can focus on, and so we need something positive. But it goes back to why we're created, and we're created to build relationships. And what better way than to give this area somewhere to go and play that is safe, that is fun, that is creative, that kids can build relationships, not only with typical peers of themselves, but with atypical peers that may be in wheelchairs or that may have autism, that can go out and play side by side with each other. But then also the families that bring them there to be able to build relationships with each other. We're so busy nowadays. And so I am excited to be a part of, to present, and to give to this area a location that they can go to and just rest. Just rest internally a little bit.
Again, we're talking with Kristina Bass, the General Coordinator for the Community-Built Playground at Sharon Johnston Park. And again, if somebody wants to volunteer or give time or money or resources, what's the best way, again, for them to do that? Contact me at area code 256-603-0987. Email me at play@sjp@gmail.com, or jump on our Facebook at www.facebook.com/play@Sharon-Johnston-Park. Okay. Well, finally, is there anything else you'd like to add, or anything I haven't asked about that you want to mention? One thing that I do want to say in regards to donations is that we are tax exempt, tax deductible. So any donations, you will receive a letter so that you can take that on your taxes. I know that's not why we do things, but it sure is an extra little benefit. And I'm hoping that this will reach out to not only the people in Northeast Madison County, but reach out to our community. And let's just hold hands together and give something wonderful out there to this community. Again, Kristina Bass, General Coordinator for the Community-Built Playground, coming to Sharon Johnston Park. I appreciate you coming in this morning. Hey, thanks for having me. And that is all for this week's edition of Alabama Perspectives. If you have any questions or comments about this show, please feel free to drop us a line at wayfm.com. If you have a nonprofit organization and you would like to be considered for the show, give us a call at our offices at 256-837-9293 between 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. I'm Matt Mariner, and this has been Alabama Perspectives on WAYFM.